What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das. I get it in. But before I get it in, let's get this intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure that you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I think stay kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. Thank you. So, welcome to another episode of Super Gunner where I tell my life experiences and stories with a twist, the way I do, man. And, something has came about that has made me reflect on a certain situation and how I was being bound, how kind of it led to me going to prison. Well, not the exact situation, but you know how one thing in life takes you down a road, and next thing you know, oh, get out. These cuffs are too tight, right? You're locked up. Let me explain to you what happened. So I told you guys earlier in the earlier super about me with these two women. So let me elaborate a little bit. I worked at this company, right? And okay, this is kind of separate from that story, but it's kind of similar. And I did the same old thing. There was two chicks. They were primas, right? And they were both from Los Angeles. And so kind of we adapted and kind of came to each other because we're both from out of state. We're both from California. They're from LA. I'm from Northern California, but we weren't doing the North and South shit. I mean, we were doing the In-N-Out shit, right? In-N-Out burger. Anyways, I was fucking with both of them, unbeknownst to them. Very well known to me, right? And I was trying to knock down two headstones at the same time, and I was trying to kill some shit, and I was killing some shit, according to at least one of them. But at the same time, it wasn't cool. I knew it wasn't cool. When they found out, they definitely wasn't cool with it. And I had to salvage one of them, and it just was what it was. But anyways, so I'm playing these two chicks out of pocket like a dumbass, right? I was young, I was dumb. They were full of, I'll let you finish that fucking story. And so as we're kicking it, I realized I had a little bit more feelings for one rather than the other, right? So I started leaning more towards her way and trying to figure out a way to push the other one away. But the other one was a little bit crazy. So I was in a situation where this one was more mellow, and the other one was more crazy. I felt kind of hazy when she slapped me, right? That's just what that was. So one day I was like, fuck it, man. I'm going to go to work today. I'm going to tell her, hey, look, me and you are cool. I'm cool with you, but I like your prima. I was going to be honest because I heard honesty is the best policy unless your cheek gets caved in, right? Which it did. So, of course, I went. I'm like, today's the day. I was nervous in the motherfucker, right? I waited to shift change and shit. Waited till the shift was going to end, and I pulled her to the side. And her prima was kind of looking like, what are you doing talking to my prima like that? But I would always tell her, man, I'm cool with your prima. And she's cool peoples, right? Yeah, she's cool. And the other one, yeah, I'm with your prima. She's cool peoples. Yeah. And she gets to get my one too, right? Right. So there was one I could get away with a little bit more jokingly. The other one, the one I was going to not really feeling too much, was the one that was going to cave my shit in. So I pulled her to the side by my car, and I'm like, hey, let me get at you. Right? I said, hey, look, this is what it is, man. Your primas, one thing led to two others. And next thing you know, mamon. And I didn't even mean for it to have it just fell in, right? She was like, what? So what are you saying? You've been fucking with my prima? I said, no, I'm not saying I've been, but I have, right? And so, bam, I'm thinking I'm gangster. I'm the active norteño, this, and that. I'm going to get away with whatever, right? Boop, 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 boop. Now, I fucked up. I should have went with that one because this other one was going to lead me on a path of destruction and she didn't put me in prison, but she was going to put me on that right path to prison. This is the one situation that leads to another. I've told a lot of stories. They're all going to gel together right here. This is the glue for them stories. For all you haters that say, oh, Gunner tells lies. Okay, well, you're going to see how the story goes into one thing into another. So trip out. So, right, I end up with this chick, right? The other one. And I'm just honest with her. I'm like, look, man, I ain't even going to lie. Your prima was feeling me and shit, man, but I just had to tell her, man, it ain't like that. I kind of lied a little bit, just a little bit, right? You got to give me the benefit of the doubt, but that's what it was. I just told her just as straight up how it's going to be. And whether you hate it or love it, the gun's on top, and I'm going to shine until your heart stop, right? She was like, no, it's okay. I understand. And that was that. I was young and I was stupid. I admit that now. I shouldn't have played with either one of their emotions, but the other one was still lost in emotion. And my cheek hurt. So I didn't give a fuck, right? So, anyways, I started fucking with this one. And she was a little bit more thuggish and gangster. The other one was beautiful with highlights and everything. But I just knew that she wasn't going to go for it. You know, she was on some Daryl Hall and John O shit. I can't go for that. No, I couldn't go for getting socked in the face either, but I had to. Sacrifices you must make in life for the fucking things that you do. There's always repercussions for your actions. Just as Jay Caro, he did some bad shit. And now he's getting beat up every day. Just happens. Not comparing me to him. Not in the least. But so anyways, I'm with this chick and we're fucking around. So one day she has some honesty shit to tell me, right? And because I kind of noticed that she's always on the phone. Like certain times I'm like, hey, let's go fucking eat. Let's go over here. She's like, oh, I got to be home because I got a phone call coming. I'm like, man, you got a phone call coming from? Right? All of a sudden, I'm your man. I'm supposed to be the one calling you, right? Well, I wasn't her only man. I was just one of the men, right? So she had an ex before she got locked up who was doing time in prison. I didn't know this shit, right? So one day she's like, we got to sit down. I got to talk. She was like, my ex, he's getting out. He's been calling me. We've been talking. We're thinking about working it out. I said, so what are you trying to do? Work me out of the situation? She was like, no, I'm just letting you know that when he gets out, he's going to probably try to get a hold of me. If he gets a hold of you every night at 6. What do you mean he's going to probably try to? Of course he's going to try to get a hold of you. You know what I'm saying? Is that where all my money's been going towards packages? Right? I'm tripping. She's like, no. That's why I work. I take care of him. What? Man, cook me something. I'm disgruntled right now. I was a disgruntled employee, right? So anyways, I'm like, whatever. He's locked up. She's like, he has a year left. It's all good, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. I got a year to, and then I'm going to go tell your prima, forgive me, right? Do you forgive me not? Right? So I'm already got a master plan. It's whatever. So at about the time, man, I ain't even going to lie. I was living at mom's pad. You know what I'm saying? The bird hadn't left the nest. I was on my no scrub shit. And I needed a place to stay. So she was like, hey, my primo, which was her cousin, her cousin, she was like, hey, he lives right next door to the mall. He has his own pad, this apartment complex. It's a nice apartment complex. They got an extra room. One of his roommates moved out. It's just him and this college dude. You want to move in? It's going to cost you like $400 a month. I was like, done, bet, right? So I ended up meeting him. He's cool. He's a pretty boy motherfucker, right? He got all the beaches, right? It's just right up my alley. I'm like, this is perfect. So me and him, right from the gate, we hit it off. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm with your prima, but you know what time it is. He's like, I ain't tripping, bro. Watch how I got it here. This fool had the apartment complex sold up. He'd be like, you guys want a steak? I'd be like, hell yeah, where are we going to go? Outback Steakhouse? He's like, nah, we're going to go to fucking Big Dick Thigh Steakhouse. Watch this. And he'd have chicks literally, he'd call him. He'd be like, yeah, we need 3 ribeyes. Like on order. They DoorDash it quick in little ass shorts, right? DoorDashing to us. I'm like, damn. This fool had it sold. He'd be like, hey, you guys want Italian, Mexican, soul food? I know a black chick. She's bad, right? She makes some bomb-ass collard greens. I'm like, hell yeah. So we ate every night. It was a straight bachelor pad. We always had chicks over there drinking, partying. His cousin would come like, yeah, you ain't fucking with none of these chicks. I'd be like, oh, yeah, you're not accepting phone calls. Bitch, it's almost 6. You need to get your ass home, right? You know. So anyways, as we're kicking it, his fucking roommate, well, my roommate too, was this white dude. Nerd dude. Glad. You know, the type of dude with hat like that and shit. Hey, what's up? Right? Always studying. Smartest one of us all. Rattingest one of all, too. Watch. So his ass would always come out and he'd see girls. He'd be like, hey, it's a little too loud out here. Like, shut up. Right? I wanted to call him my celly, right? He almost was if he would have went with us. But anyways, my roommate's like, hey, man, just take your hand back in the room, man. Just pay me what you owe me. And so everything's cool. But I ain't gonna lie, the little white dude was cool. He was cool people's, man. Hey, he would always get mad. Who ate my Captain Crunch? I'd be like, are you talking about the Crunch Berries? Yeah, that one. That wasn't me spitting out Crunch Berry and shit. So this dude worked at the mall. My roommate, not the nerd dude. He went to college, right? But the other one worked at the mall and I had a job. So we'd always do our thing. And so he just walked. We lived right next door to the mall. I mean, like a field separated us. He just walked to work. He always had chicks taking him lunch and all kinds of shit. Fool had, like I said, man, that fool he was phenomenal, right? His game was different than mine. Like his shit, he was way advanced in the game. So one day he calls. I'm at the pad. I was on my day off. He's like, hey, bro, do me a bottle. Yeah, what's up? He was like, hey, bro, I forgot that chick. You know, that black chick, she made some bomb-ass food, bro. But I left my lunch right there. Can you bring it? So he worked like he was a middle of the mall worker. One of those dudes that would fucking would be trying to sell you fucking shoe shine and lotion to tighten your skin and shit. That was what he did. But he'd always have a gang of chicks there tightening their skin. And he'd be like, hey, look at another number and another one, right? He was money gunning it. So that's just what his thing was. So I walk over there with this shit, like, the homie. Me and him got real cool. And that his prima, I was fucking with her, right? So I remember taking him his lunch that day. And when I do, I see his cousin there talking to him at the booth, and she's with some black dude. And I'm like, you cold busted. Sit down here. I'm so disgusted with you. I don't know what to do. My first impulse was to run up on her and do the hammer time. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, you can't touch this to both of them. But I had to, you know what I mean? So anyways, I see with this black dude, he's wearing gray sweats. You can tell he was in prison. So she sees me and her eyes get big and she's like, oh, this is whoop-de-whoop. And it's her ex. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, what's up? And she's a straight up gangster. She was like, yeah, this is the dude I fuck with. And this is the dude who I used to fuck with, who I just gave my mom one in the bathroom. I'm like, what am I to do here? But I'm on my player shit too. So I'm kind of like, all right, payback. Okay, paybacks are tough. And they're mandatory. Don't trip. So she's like, hey, I came to ask my cousin, now that you're here, then we could ask you, like, my ex, he needs a place to stay for a few days. His mom won't let him go to her house and shit because he stole her purse last time he was out. And you know what I'm saying? All the food stamps was wiped away. So I'm like, fuck. How the fuck am I going to have this? This is crazy. Let's just put it out on the table. What's going on here, right? She was like, look, this is the dude I told you, my ex, that we were trying to work it out, but I don't know if it's going to work out, but he's still a friend and he needs a place to stay. And I'm like, and wipe your mouth. What is that? Damn, I didn't know brothers had it like that. You did shit all over her face, right? He's like, oh, you know, right? So I'm like, am I being played here or what's going on? Because at this point in time, we were together, but not together. So I really didn't care. So like, yeah, he could stay. He's going to sleep on the couch. This is his first, like, second day out of prison, right? So he comes to the pad, boom. We ended up being cool. He's like, man, fuck that chick, bro. I'm just trying to rock that shit and use that shit. I said, me too, bro. What's up? What's up? I'm kind of disgruntled, but at the same time, I'm like, I knew it was coming. I just didn't expect him to get out that soon. So she, meantime, in the between times, probably with 10 other dudes. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I chose the wrong cousin. So as we're kicking back, me and this dude, everything's good. He's staying there. He stays there that night. The next day, I used to take my clothes to my Heffa's house to wash because we had washer and dryer there, but it cost too many quarters. And I wasn't trying to do all that, right? And I remember this particular day like it was yesterday. I remember you, homie. Oh, Mellow Man. No, who's that? MC fucking, I don't like MC Boulevard. Anyways, so my Heffa calls and she was like, hey, mijo, do you got clothes you need to wash? So I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, it's getting late. It was already like almost midnight. She was like, if you're going to come drop them off. I'll do them. And then in the morning, you can pick them up tomorrow. And I had the day off that day, right? So I'm like, yeah, cool. So I tell everyone, like, hey, you guys got any clothes? Shoot them. So my fucking roommate, the player one, he's on the phone with shit. Well, you got me, right? He's like, no, I'm cool, bro. I got chicks to wash my shit. I said, why don't you get them to wash my shit? You get them to make me steak? He's like, no can do, no siree. Not when it comes to washing clothes, man. You know, that's a little too intimate. I didn't get it. But I told the other dude, hey, bro, all you guys that sweatsuit, I let him borrow sweater and shit. I ain't even gonna lie. We kind of like pushed the other chick away, like, me and him are cool, man. Fuck her, right? She's over there with 10 other dudes anyways. So he's like, yeah. So he takes the sweater. I give him another sweater. He's like, yeah, can you wash this, bro? Yeah, I got you. And the little white dude comes out who I hardly ever talked to. The motherfucker lived there and all he did was complain. Who shit and didn't flush it? I look at the black dude like, damn. He's like, bro, that shit's been there 3 days. I just barely moved in last night. We still gonna blame you though. Right? And so anyways, he comes out and he's like, hey, do you think I could wash a few things? Because my parents, they're gone for the weekend. Right? He had those rich parents. I'm like, yeah, cool, bro. He's like, can I go with you? Just get out the house. I want to get some fresh air. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So he comes out, right? And I'm like, hey, let's walk there. And I just got paid. I had my check in my pocket the day before. It was my day off. I had like a $900 something check for the week. I thought I was cool. And I had like $50 in my pocket. So I'm like, you guys hungry? There was a Jack in the Box right by where we live too. I was like, let's go to my mom's pad. We'll drop these clothes off. We'll jump back. So what we were doing was we didn't have cars. None of us had a car, right? We would jump. There's like a subway thing that you could jump on and then buses and shit. So we're walking to the subway station. As we're walking, it's a straight shot down the street. Jack in the Box is right there. I should have just fucking went to Jack's. I'd have been fucking free, right? But I'm like, hey, we'll hit it on the way back. I just wanted to get rid of these clothes. I had a little bag of clothes. It wasn't a lot. It was just some whites and stuff and a couple of some clothes. And as I'm walking, right, we're walking, we get up there and there's an old man at the subway station thing. And he sees us and we're waiting there for like 10 minutes and we're smoking a frajo and shit. And then he's like, hey, are you guys waiting for the train? We're like, yeah. He's like, I'll stop running like an hour ago. Well, why the fuck you didn't tell us this 20 minutes ago, puta? The fuck is wrong with you, right? He was like, no, my bad, bro. I should have told you guys something. I said, well, what are you doing here? He's, I'm waiting till the morning. Like, damn. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's just go back. We'll go hit up Jack in the Box real quick. And then we'll go to the pad, right? Now it's already late. Jack in the Box is closed to us right here. So when we go over there, it's closed. And we try to go through the drive-thru, but they won't let us walk through. They're like, no. So I'm like, damn, man, I'm hungry too. I'm gonna have to tell them what have a bitch make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, preferably with a few bananas, because that motherfucker's just good. I know the brother likes it, man. He's like, hell yeah, I like peanut butter and jelly. Little white dude, you ain't got nothing coming in, so don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Eat your Captain Crunch, right? As we're walking, the black homie's like, damn, I gotta take a piss, bro. So I'm like, yeah, run up ahead of us. Now there's a guy walking on the other side of the road. He has like a BP gas station hat on. You know, he's like an Indian dude, like a Singh, you know, and he's walking and it's cool. He has a backpack. You can tell he just got off work and he's just doing his thing, man. And no harm, no foul. And I see the homie runs over there across the street. And as he runs over there across the street to take a piss, right? All of a sudden I see them two arguing and he knocks that dude's hat off his head, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So me and the white dude, we run over there like just to make sure, like, what the hell's going on? We didn't have nothing to do with nothing. No argument or nothing. That dude takes off running, looks back at us, takes off running. Black dude picks up the hat off the ground. It's a BP gas station hat. He says, hey, you guys want a hat? Hell no. And he throws it in the bushes and we keep walking, right? We get all the way down the street and there's like 20 cop cars with guns on us. Get down. What? Get down for what? We get down. They have us on the curb. They bring old boy. They put the spotlight on us to identify. He identifies the white dude and the black dude right from the gate. But I'm Mexican. He can't really tell because they say all Mexicans look alike, right? And I'm right there. But at that time, I had one identifying mark, which was I cut off the next day after this shit, right? They told me, turn around. And when I turned around, I had a Mongolian. And he was able to recognize me from the Mongolian. Yeah, that's the guys who robbed me. Robbed you for what? I didn't even talk to you, fool. I didn't even know what he looked like. He knew what I looked like, barely, but I didn't know even what he fucking looked like. They got us for robbery in the first degree, right? Take me to the county jail. I'm telling the cops, are you serious? For reals? Go through the courts, get a fucking public defender, go through everything. I'm there for like 3 or 4 months. He's like, the only deal that they're offering you is 3 years in prison. I'm over it. I'm like, fuck it, man. I lost my job. I'm saying, I don't know what's going on with my clothes and everything at the pad. I don't even know what happened to my laundry. My whites are still in the evidence room to this day, right? I'm like, fuck. I end up taking a deal for 3 years. The judge, right? When I stand up for the judge to do sentencing, the judge says, you motherfuckers from California moving out of state, think you guys are going to come over here, you gang members all tattooed down and do something? I'm going to make an example out of you. And tax on another year on my shit. I was like, I look at the district attorney like, I didn't want 4 years. I wanted 3. End up going to prison, right? It's all bad in prison. They send me to a yard. That's the yard they sent me to is where I told you guys I got there. I was the only Norteño there. I took off my sweater and my shirt. I had the Huelga bird. All the natives got up, walked away from me. They said, no can do, Kimosabe, right? They were gone, left me to get jumped on, and that was that. And then one situation led to another. I ended up getting to the end of my sentence, getting into a scuffle, pulling out a fucking fierro and fucking stabbing someone and catching 4 more years, right? Or 3 more years, exactly. 4, but I got a little good time on it. So it all goes back to trying to be a player and play women in a situation. And I ended up chopping my own fucking head off, right? I was literally in prison innocent, an innocent man. If you've ever watched my 9/11 video, that comes into play as well, because when I stabbed old boy, then I got hooked up to the lie detector test. And I've told that story in the past. Those that haven't watched it, it's somewhere in my archives, right? But trying to play these 2 women, man, I remember I got out. Man. Went to go see mom's before she moved, right? And I was living back in California. I was just doing my thing. I was like, fucking, I don't even want to be there. I don't want to be around that shit, right? And I go back to visit, and I ran into the prima, not the one that was playing the game like I was playing the game, but playing it harder than I was, but the other prima. And she was bad, and she was a little thicker. And I was like, what's up? You remember me? And she was like, hell yeah, I remember you. You were the one with my prima and shit. And I was like, what's up? What's up with you? And she was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm married and shit. She's like, we can go out and have a drink. And I was like, let's go. And I ain't gonna lie, we got to talking and yeah, you know how I done it, like Smokey from Friday, right? And next thing you know, she was doing the bird cage on me. And that was just it. Anyways, with that being said, that's just another Super Gunner episode for that ass. Just to tie some of the videos that I put together and let you guys know that what I say is truths and facts, man. My life is a little bit different than others. We all have our unique stories in life. I hope you guys enjoy the way I tell them. If you want me to continue the Super Gunners, all you got to do is hit a 1 and let me know. If you don't want me to, well, guess what? I'm going to do it anyways, man, because that's what I do, and I'm going to stand on that. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly and most definitely believe, and that's the benefit of all people, man. I want to do what I can do to bring a positive laugh or some smiles or whatever to your life, man. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the Central Valley, make sure you pull up to Barrio Liquors. Tell Lali I said what's up and go get you something cold to drink. Support local businesses as well as Sticks and Stones Yard Services in Arizona, man. If you're in the area of Arizona, it's a big state. Google a homeboy, man. And if you're close, he'll pull up and he got you. Tell him Gun sent you. Bang, bang.